Hi, I'm the Recruiting Maven and welcome back to my channel. Today's topic of conversation is unconscious bias. I just want to say a quick thank you at this point for those of you who like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I deeply appreciate your kind support. For those of you who are new to my channel, I have an ever-growing playlist with career tips and advice. And for those of you who are looking for a one-on-one coaching session, make sure you check out the description box below. So diving into today's topic, I just want to say that, we are all guilty of this, myself included. And, it's just something that's baffling to a lot of people because I know the majority of the people are good people. We try our best and we try to be conscientious of others and their feelings and, doing a good job wherever we go. And so, when these things, sneak up on us and, they're labeled as unconscious, I know some people have taken offense to that and say, and taken a very hard stand and saying, that doesn't happen to me, or I'm not that way. And it's sort of a loaded type of a question and also, something that when we have to reflect on our own behavior, it's very difficult to overcome for sure, and to really look at ourselves, take a hard look at ourselves, right? So why does this continue to happen is my question to you. And it's a question, it's a blanket statement to everyone because it applies to every industry there is out there, and not just our work life, but also our personal life. So we're going to discuss this in relation to your work life. So unconscious bias really lies in two main areas of our lives. One is really the routine base of our life, and the other is really the environment that we grew up into. So wanted to focus on in today's video with regards to the routine base of unconscious biases. So don't get me wrong, routines are great because we just sort of go on autopilot and they help us to get a lot of things accomplished throughout our days that really doesn't need, or we don't need to spend a lot of time thinking about, and so we're just coasting right along, and it helps us to move through our day a lot faster, which makes it all the more difficult to improve and resolve because they're not blatantly obvious. So to provide you with an example, when we're at work and possibly somebody comes along, a work colleague or a client or anything along those lines, and all of a sudden they're asking you about a particular project, or they need, a colleague may need your help, or you're in this now stressful situation and you're running on autopilot, all of a sudden then you start to place judgment on this person or situation. And that sounds a little bit like this. Why is this person wasting my time again? Why am I stuck in this situation? Because I have so much to do. Didn't this person learn anything from the training? And so once you start to hear those judgment type of messages in your mind, then really that's a cue for you to stop and not necessarily reflect because you may not have the time, but really to change the direction in which you're going. So at that point, I would say just stop and just really be present for that person or situation, because that's going to help you move through it without placing all these judgments, which is an unconscious bias, right? Wanted to touch on real quick in terms of interviewing and unconscious bias because I think that that's such a huge subject that perhaps I'll do a vlog on that all in of its own. But the same applies in this case. When you're interviewing with somebody and they're just only wanting you to hit those target key phrases or background skills, and all of a sudden they're not hearing that, that's okay, because obviously they want to be choosy, and they are being choosy who they select for that position. However, checking all the boxes isn't necessarily the right candidate either. So, I've had hiring managers hire the wrong person because, the interviewee had all the, checked all the boxes, but really wasn't necessarily the greatest fit. And, a few months down the road, we, had to terminate that person. So it's about being mindful and not being so closed-minded, and those judgments that happen in our mind based on who we are and our past experiences. Yes, they help to guide us, of course, but then you kind of sort of, cross that line where it no longer is that, and then you start to really evolve into something else of being very narrow-minded, not being open, and that causes problems. And that's where that fine line of unconscious biases come into play. It's not that you're not trying to do a good job or that you're not a good person. It's just that, you know, some of those things are now overtaking your judgment. And again, it's that at that point where you need to take a step back, maybe take a deep breath, and, you know, re-engage that person in a different way. So with that said, I just want to say I do hope you have found this helpful, and I do hope that you have a great rest of your week. And thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. I deeply appreciate your kind support, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.